Welcome to Evening of Empowerment, the podcast for out-of-school time professionals, educators, and leaders who are passionate about growth, impact, and innovation in education. I'm your host, Richmond Brown, and the founder of Enrich by Richmond, where we're dedicated to inspiring leaders, elevating program quality, and creating enriching experiences for students and staff. Welcome to another episode of Evening of Empowerment, where we come together to inspire, uplift, and empower individuals and teams who are making a difference around the world. Whether you're an educator, an after-school site coordinator, a team leader, or any professional trying to motivate your staff or students, this episode is for you. Today, we'll be exploring the power of motivation and inspiration, and I'll be sharing some practical strategies to guide you and your teams through these difficult moments in time. I'm your host, Richmond Brown, and again, we'll be talking about navigating times with resiliency, especially as we face these uncertain times during the change of leadership and also the challenges brought on us by the tragic Palisade fires and the Eden fires here in Los Angeles. Before we get started, if you are able to, or you want to find ways to support those impacted during the Palisade and Eden fires, there are various ways you can do so by visiting organizations' websites, such as the American Red Cross, FEMA, or 211 Los Angeles, as well as going to GoFundMe to support those in need, as many have lost their homes, and whatever you can do to support will help. Thank you in advance, and my thoughts and my prayers go out to all those impacted by the fires here in Los Angeles. Let's begin. Let's start by acknowledging something. There's been some challenging times, whether it's been the disruption caused by the natural disaster like the Palisade fires that have deeply affected our communities in the broad climate of uncertainty in leadership, whether it be in your jobs, the real world right now in general. It can sometimes feel like the weight of the world is pressing down on us with all we've got to carry. I'm pretty confident that we're all feeling this on some type of level or have felt this at some time or other. For my leaders, being anyone who's guiding a group of people, take a moment and breathe with me, and let's center ourselves briefly. When we're managing teams, we often find ourselves at the intersect of uncertainty and fear for anyone that is involved, anyone who's being impacted. But I want to remind you today that we have an incredible gift within us. That gift is the ability to adapt, the ability to rise, and the ability to truly inspire those around us. So here's how we inspire our teams and our students and our colleagues during these difficult times. We want to first acknowledge the reality. It's okay to be real. It makes those around you feel seen and heard when you are real with them. The reality, sometimes the hardest pill to swallow. But I'm sure as leaders in spaces, navigating the reality of anything requires you to really reflect on so many things. And anybody who is a leader should always take moments to truly reflect on everything that you can, because if you don't take that time to really evaluate yourself and really ask yourself those hard questions, how are you truly growing? And so here are some questions you can ask yourself when leading people and really needing to reflect on, anything. You can say, hey, what will be the best way forward? How will my team need me to support professionally to succeed in our work, but also personally to be their best selves to lead? How is my team or my students being impacted by this uncertainty? And what can I do within my willpower to be there for them? As leaders, it is so vital that we recognize the impact on our people. They may be grieving, they may be anxious, the anxieties are up for their families, their futures, and they still have to navigate certain things, whether it's loss, whether it's, again, just fear, and sometimes they can't even put things into words. But acknowledging the difficulties is when we start to heal. Now, here's the next step: offer a sense of hope and direction. As leaders, our words and our actions hold incredible weight. I'm gonna say that one more time. As leaders, our words and actions hold incredible weight. People look to us for reassurance, guidance, and hope. We're not just responsible for carrying out programs, tasks, holding meetings, and ensuring the deadlines are fulfilled and curriculums are making sense. We're responsible for the emotional and mental well being of those who trust us. Leaders are responsible for the emotional well being of those who trust them, and the huge responsibility that should not be taken lightly by anybody. If you take that responsibility of being in power to your head instead of being mindful of you still have to take care of people's heart, you might need to reevaluate what you're really doing. As leaders, be honest about your struggles. Don't be afraid to share about that story when you felt under pressure. Don't be scared to share the story of the time you tripped up and you may have failed and may have missed the mark. Because again, we're at a time, at a point in life where we should be more open to the truth about the difficulties and literally share those stories and those experiences to help those behind us avoid those same mistakes. It makes us a true leader to be more humanized and to allow people to connect with us than to put on this facade and train those, again, who are watching us to always mask up and really take that mask off and say, oh no, it was hard, it was tough, but you got through, and that's why you're where you are now. So I shared with one of my managers this past week, who I am honored to serve with and serve beside daily, that I had to learn as I grew in my leadership to be more vulnerable in my leadership and to truly put my guard down to get the best out of my team because I wanted them to receive what I was saying. I wanted them to receive me and not only receive me, but trust me because we had to work closely together. And in that, I needed them to trust me more than ever because I wanted to guide them to new heights and to a place that they had never been before and to where our program had never been before. So again, I needed them to trust that I had a true vision for them. And I shared that with my shift and my transforming of my leadership, I transformed my team. And I was also able to learn as a leader how to lead from the back to ensure that I always put my team in the forefront and so that they understood their purpose and their value in that space and how they played a true part in the success. Again, as leaders, we have a true vision, but we can't do it alone. Be mindful, again, that it is those who trust us each and every day that we have to take care of so that they can take care of. So, with that, I will say, you heard in my last podcast, I asked the question of, what is the legacy you plan on leaving people? And the greatest quote that has stayed with me, and I will share in hopes that it helps you in your leadership, is first to always connect with the people that you are leading. So I will leave you with connection before content, relationship before strategy. The old saying when you work with students is, how can you teach me when you don't know me? Let your team and your students know that you understand what they're going through. You're not just there to push them through the pain, but really help them navigate it. And know that they have a trusting human there to help guide them through the way. Leading in a time of uncertainty and great uncertainty can be very challenging, whether it is facing leadership shifts, whether it is, the uncertainty of a time, COVID, thinking about all of those things. I will tell you what has personally kept me in true spirits of high hopes and the reminder of the importance of community and the unity of community. When I served in the schools, our motto and our whole mission was students are the heart of our work. And that has always stood with me till this day where I am now, where again, I always say what is going to be in the best interest of the students that I'm serving, what is going to be in the best interest of the team that I'm leading. And every day I made a point to check in on the people to ensure and remind them that they're not in this alone. And if I could do anything, the smallest things, which was bring an ounce of joy and a smile, that could possibly turn someone's day around. So let me tell you, the connections made a difference. For my new leaders out there, I will share that when your team feels seen and when they know that you care, they will move mountains for you. So start with small acts of kindness, meaningful conversations, and reassure them that even in the most difficult times, their efforts matter and they have a purpose in the work that they do every day. You might not see it in that moment. They may not see it in the moment. But trust and believe me. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Now, let's talk about resilience and the power of resilience. Resiliency is the ability to bounce back after a setback, to rise stronger after the storm. But it's not just about the bounce back, it's about the growing through the experience. As a leader, we need to show our teams how to do this. One of the greatest gifts we can offer our students, our staffs, or even a colleague is the ability to reframe adversity as an opportunity, better known as recalibration. Sure, there'll be moments of frustration, burnout, and stress. Trust me, my team has seen me in all those seasons, but they know the bounce back is beyond real, and I remind them that those seasons are just a moment, and those moments don't define us. What defines us is how we rise, how we take those challenges and turn them into lessons, both for ourselves and for those we lead. I've seen teachers, site coordinators, and many professionals turn hardships into inspiration. I've seen them create spaces for students to process their emotions, to explore new ways to learn and empower one another. I've seen teams that have faced with loss come together in ways to showcase the best of humanity. And I know that you have the same power within you. So how do we keep going? How do we motivate and inspire in times of uncertainty? First, we stay connected. Connection is the glue that holds us together during difficult times. We listen, we support, and we model resilience one day at a time. Finally, I want to share a final piece of advice that I believe has made all the difference in my own leadership journey. In times of uncertainty, focus on what you can control. There is so much out there beyond our reach, but the actions we take in the present moment, the care we show to those we serve, those are within our powers. Create small wins for your team, celebrate progress, no matter how small it may seem. These victories build monumental moments and keep the spirits alive. In closing, I want to leave you with this. Leadership is not about the results. It's about how we show up for one another during the hard times. We've been tested before, and we will continue to be tested, but we are resilient. We are strong, and together, we can navigate even the toughest storms. So to all of you educators, site coordinators, professionals out there, emerging leaders, I see you, I believe in you, and I know that through all of this, we will come out stronger, more connected, and more empowered even before. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Evening of Empowerment. Let's keep lifting each other up, and let's keep moving forward. One moment, one step, one day at a time. Until next time, remember, you're not alone. Keep empowering those around you and take care of yourself. Hey, if you're still there, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, share with your teacher, share with an after-school professional, share with your teams. And always remember, you are welcome to email me at hello@enrichbyrichmond.com. Feel free to visit my website, subscribe to my mailing list, at, again, www.enrichbyrichmond.com. Have a great night.